Hi, in this video I'm going to be talking about how I made the animated music video for the song Building Them a House by Athena Aperta. If you haven't seen the video already, it's on Athena Aperta's YouTube channel. I will link it below in the description, so go and watch that first. So in this video I'm going to be showing some behind the scenes stuff, so basically like it's the project files and that kind of thing, just like the thought process behind what went into the music video. So the first thing that I got was the lyrics to the song, which I read and kind of came up with some ideas for what the music video could be. And the kind of main theme that I found in the lyrics was about sacrificing part of yourself to someone else, and then that kind of them taking too much. That's kind of where everything came from, I think. So then I started thinking about how I could show that in a music video, and I'd been seeing stuff on Instagram of illustrations of skeletons and stuff. So I thought that could be a good way to visualize the metaphor of maybe them removing parts of themselves and giving it to another character, but then the other character obviously taking too much. So that's where the initial idea came from. But I only had 4 days to make the music video because there was 2 weeks between Athena asking me to make the video and then me going away traveling for a few months. And in those 2 weeks I only had 4 days off of work. So with only 4 days to make the music video, I'd be pretty scrappy about how I would go about making the video. So that means getting a lot of assets from Sketchfab, trying to find free assets, and then retexturing them and kind of making them my own a little bit, but like basically trying to put in as little work as possible in terms of modeling and stuff, so I could focus on getting nice images and telling the story. So I found a skeleton model on Sketchfab, and then basically just started working from there. Started with the first shot and went along with the music. So I just imported the music into Blender so I could listen to it as I was making it, so I could cut on beats and have action on beats and that kind of thing. And then I just started at the start and went. I tried to keep it in as few project files as possible, basically only moving to another project file when I absolutely had to, whether that was because a new scene or if it was just getting too heavy in that one project file. That's that I could maintain as much continuity as possible. You can see in the behind the scenes when I kind of zoom out of the camera, you can see that there's a lot of like jumping around and stuff where the characters are moving in space without walking, and I was just trying to cheat it as much as possible because I had such a short amount of time to make the video. The short amount of time also affected the whole look of the film. I kind of wanted to try a different look because I've done stuff in the past with Float Away and with Getting to the Moon as well, where they're kind of very 3D looking, and I wanted to see if I could make something in a bit of a different style. So I decided to kind of try and toon shade it, and that just made it a lot easier in terms of lighting and in terms of just controlling how the image looked. I could basically just pick 2 colours or 3 colours or whatever, and then have the light affect that, or a lot of the time I didn't even use lights. I would just use the ambient occlusion and use the normals of the object to influence what colour it would be. So if it was facing up, it would be a certain colour. If it was facing left, it would be a certain colour. That kind of thing. Because I didn't even need to light the scenes. I'd have complete control over it, and it was just like easy and simple and quick. That's the main thing. It was quick, and I think it looked good. So that was, that's also important. So as I say, I was animating chronologically. So I started with just the one character with the idea to introduce the second character. So I just took the same character model and just changed the colours of it. So again, just being as quick as possible, but also kind of communicating this is a different character. In terms of the colours that I chose, originally the character was supposed to be blue, and then I was going to have a pink character. But when I sent it to Athena, she said she wanted the characters to be kind of neutral in terms of gender. So I ended up having one character orange and one character kind of pink, but I think that the pink is it's not as feminine, I guess. I don't know. One other thing you might notice in the film is there's not a ton of like animation. It's usually kind of the story is told through the cuts, like it's kind of a shot where not much is happening, and then we cut to another shot where something might be a little bit happening, and that again is just in terms of time. I was just trying to work as quickly as possible, and animation takes a lot of time. There's a few shots that I focused on to try and make look good, and then the rest of it I was just trying to tell the story with as little animation as possible. So I'm going to open up the project files and show you kind of a bit more in detail what everything looks like. Step back a little bit. I'm not going to go super in detail in terms of like techniques and stuff, but I think it's just interesting to see what it looks like outside of the camera, because you know I cheated a lot to get it done in the time that it needs to be done. So this is the first project file for the music video. I'm just going to let it play through. It probably won't play through at full speed, but you can kind of see how things are popping in. Got our little character here and the camera. And yeah, as we go through, you can see I kind of cheated the walk with the trees moving backwards. And then you can also see, actually, if I just go back a second, you can see how both the characters are moving the same because I just duplicated the characters. Another thing also, to get the kind of sketchy look, I used a displace modifier with a noise texture connected to an empty, which is just moving up. So it just gives everything kind of a little wiggle. As you can see, I think pretty much everything has that applied to it, just to give it a bit more inconsistency between frames, to give it a bit more of that hand-drawn look. And if I go into the actual camera, you can see how the camera moves through the scene. You can see how I used the grease pencil with a bunch of modifiers, line art modifiers, position with some noise applied, some noise scale here, subdivision, more noise, position, multiple strokes. Basically, I just played with it until I thought it looked good. Yeah, and then I also used a texture, which is just a pencil stroke texture. I don't know if I can see it, but it's just a free pencil stroke texture that I found online for the actual strokes, to give them a rougher look. So you can kind of see here how it's not just the base ink stroke, it's sampling a pen texture or kind of an inky texture. It just makes it look a bit rougher. Yeah. You can also see the colours are a bit different because I did a bunch of colour correction, colour grading in DaVinci Resolve afterwards, because I wasn't really happy with these colours. I don't like this green, all that kind of thing. Okay, I'm going to move into the second project file to look at that. So this is the second project file. As you can see, again, this boat model is just off of Sketchfab. Same with the fire, same with the stone. The background is just the landscape add-on, which is just a free add-on with Blender. You can see again, if I play it through, how stuff kind of jumps around. Like I think the shelter, see how it flips side, just because the shot looks better. Like in this shot, he looks better on this side of the stick. In this shot, he looks better on this side of the stick, and you're probably not going to notice. So little cheats like that. We got the character raising up from the water. One thing with this boat is the water's kind of clipping through the bottom. I think it's actually in the final music video as well. There's like a frame or two where the water clips through. There you go, see that? I'll have just missed that, but yeah, once you have the grease pencil applied to it, it doesn't look nearly as bad. Like with the fingers clipping and stuff, it doesn't make as much of a difference. And you see here, I just used a particle system. I think something's gone wrong here, because obviously that should be attached to his hand. So I don't know what quite what's happened, but yeah, it should be attached here, and there's just the particles coming off of his hand as they're kind of dragging in the water. So you can see how it's all done in like one project file, which isn't a great way to work, because everything gets really messy. As you can see, stuff starts going wrong, but it's kind of because, again, I was on such a tight deadline. I kind of just had to, once I'd done a shot and I was happy with it, I'd move on, and it didn't matter if I added something to the scene that would mess up the other shot. I'm probably not going to go back and change it, so it's kind of fine. That's probably why there's so many glitches and stuff in this project file. You can see this is one of my favourite shots with the going inside of the skeleton. That was kind of an idea I had right at the start. Go inside of the skeleton, and you can see him breaking his arm off, which I hope reads well. I'm not sure if it does, but hopefully it does. And you can see just here like bending his head back so that it's not in the way of the camera as soon as the camera's through, because otherwise his chin would be in the way. And then at the end I switched to 12 frames per second. Throughout the film it was at 6 frames per second, but then for the last little sequence I decided to go to 12 just to make it more fluid, make it feel a bit different, like something's changed. For the fire and the ivy and stuff, I used geometry nodes. So you can see here it's kind of a simple geometry node setup with using the proximity of a cube, which I have, controlling the where the fire is, and then I just kind of sample, distribute points on faces and then instant points, and then having the flames appear on those points. And it's kind of glitchy and all over the place, but it's fine in the in the final thing. And then the reason I did the distribution like that is because then I wanted, as this character crawls away, the fire to kind of follow him. Originally I wanted to go on the trees, but then they didn't really look right because there's not enough trees, so you had it kind of here and a bit here and a bit here, but it didn't read very well. So instead I just had the fire disappear, and that's just the end of the shot. Okay, so hopefully that kind of showed you a little bit how I made the music video. The main challenge with this was definitely the amount of time that I had to make it. 4 days isn't a long time to animate a whole music video. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, everything considered. I think in the future, if I was in the exact same situation, I think I'll probably plan a little bit more in terms of like story and stuff. Like I had a rough outline for the plan, but it's not super in depth, and I think maybe having more of a clear plan about where stuff would go and shots and stuff will be better, because I think the pacing of the music video is a little bit off. Like the character is introduced, the second character is introduced a little bit late, and then we kind of rushed the finale, like with the taking of the limbs and stuff. I feel like that's maybe something I should have introduced earlier. But yeah, I mean, it's a learning experience, and again, it was 4 days. It's nice to have made something, because I've had a bit of a break from making stuff while I've been traveling and working and stuff. So yeah, I hope this video was somewhat interesting. I'm going to try and upload a bit more about my short film that I'm making. I've had a few advancements with that recently, so hopefully I'll be able to have an update on that soon. But I just thought, make a little video about this music video I made as well, and try and push people towards it, because yeah, I think it's good, and I want people to see it. So yeah, go watch Building Them a House on Athena Aperta's YouTube channel. And yeah, thank you for watching. Goodbye.